Hello, this is Jason Maneely with Team Maneely here again, and we've got our newest DIY feature. Today we are going to be tackling one of the more gross and disgusting aspects of any home that's a couple of years old. All right, for this newest DIY segment, we are going to be tackling the bathroom shower stall chud. And what I mean by that is we get showing houses and you'll walk into a house that's perfectly clean, beautiful, and you'll walk into the shower and the caulking all around it is moldy, it's mildewy, it's black, brown, orange, whatever color you can pick out of the rainbow, it is there. It is gross and it turns off so many buyers. So this is what we're gonna do today is we're gonna clean out the tracks, replace the molding, get all the black out, and make your house ready to list, show, and sell fast. So this is what I mean right here. Look at all that chud. It's mildew, it's mold, it's all that kind of stuff. Ugh, look at that. You don't want your buyers coming in to see that. All right, so we need a couple of tools for this. Some real basic ones. We have screwdrivers, and I have multiple sizes on this, and this is kind of for digging into the corners and scraping out some of the mildew and hard water, things like that. I have two different kinds of razor blades. You gotta be careful here. They are obviously sharp. I have a flat blade, and that's for scraping in there. I also have my utility knife with the pointed blade to cut out the old caulk. And that's gonna be our first step, is removing the old caulk. And then once you get it all removed, you're going to need a sponge, and I recommend one with a scrubby on the back side. And if it's really bad, maybe something a little bit more aggressive to get in there and clean. Finally, we have caulk. And depending on what your caulk looks like, if it's clear or white, but make sure you get a good silicone caulk. It stinks up to high heaven. But it'll last a lot longer and it'll reduce the mold in the long run. So you'll want to do that. And then we have two different kinds as well. You have a squeeze tube, and then you also have one made for a caulk gun. And you can see I've used the heck out of this one. But get a good caulk gun. Don't skimp and get the $2 version. You'll be unhappy. The caulk will go down really, really bad, and you will be able to tell that you did it as an amateur job. So get a good caulk gun. And I don't know what the characteristics are, but they just put down a much smoother bead that you can scrape out. Nice and easy. Also, have yourself a rag that you can get the excess caulk off your fingers. The more caulk you have in your fingers, the more you're gonna get everywhere else. You have to wipe it off. It becomes a huge mess. And that's the reason people don't like to do these kind of jobs, because it becomes messy. Doesn't have to be. Do it right, do it smart, and it'll be good. All right, so here we are, guys, and you can see all this nasty caulk in here, okay? And this just gets corroded over time, and the best way to take it out is using your flat edge, and this is a tough one because this track is tight. It's got the lip to hold the water there, and then you gotta take all the caulk out of here, and then getting in these corners is tough. So you take your blades and you just work it in there the best you can. You may not be able to get it all, but just kind of scrape it in, get it cut out as best you can, and then take your screwdriver. I have a couple different sizes here, and you can get in and just start scraping it out. And you're gonna have to do this for the whole process and get all that old caulk out so we can replace it with the new stuff. All right, guys, so we've got the track all cleaned out down here. And what you will notice is that you have these molding strips that hold in your window, and water gets in around these over time as well. And they'll go from clear on the sides like this to like kind of this brownish over here. So you can take these out. Now, don't take them all out, because what will happen is your window will fall out, and then you guys are gonna be calling Saul on me to come after me. So all you wanna do is you wanna take these bad boys out, and they're really gross on top of it, but take them out and then clean them in some CLR, some dish soap, something big, bleach, whatever it is, and then you can reinstall them and then it looks 100 times better. All right, so we've cleared out all the caulk from your edges and the shower pan here, and then also from the window. So now you're ready to re-caulk. So you want to make sure that everything is clean and dry along here, and then you're going to caulk the bottom shower pan first. And then when that's done, you'll go to your windows. So the effect is that the water can come down, go over the top, and then into the shower pan without any leaking behind the walls. All right, here's another thing to keep in mind. When you're going to caulk the inside of this shower rail, there are little weep holes right there, okay? You don't want to cover those up with caulk. What happens is water gets inside of here and it has to have somewhere to drain out and dry off eventually. So make sure you do not cover up those weep holes. Okay, now this is probably the most important part of making this caulk look good. You will see on your tube of caulk these little gradient lines here, and they show it cutting at an angle. And so you want to cut it at an angle, but even if you were to cut at this first line that it shows you, that hole is huge still, and that allows so much caulk to come out and make a massive mess. I would say cut it up here. You want maybe a 1/4 to 3/8 inch hole at the very top. I mean, maybe even down to an 1/8 if you can pull that off. But a nice small bead of caulk will go a long ways and make it look a whole ton better. Okay, on to the caulking. Remember, you want to make sure you have your rag, make it nice and wet so you can clean your fingers off and also kind of keep your finger a little bit wet. It helps move the caulk around a little bit better. So you can see I've cut off just a little bit of a tip there. Not much. I would say this is a 1/4, maybe 3/8, a little bigger than I would like, but this is as low as it would allow me to do it. And I cut it at an angle, and if there's any fragments of plastic hanging off the tip here, make sure you cut that off as well, because it'll drag through the caulk and make your bead a little worse. So you're going to put it in, and you're just going to squeeze very gently, all right, and lay down just a small little caulk, a bead of caulk right there. And this goes on white, but it is clear. And so now take your pinky finger and gently put it on there and pull it along. Pinky won't fit in there, so take your finger and then see when it starts gooping up like that, put it on your rag. You don't want much, okay? And then just keep going along, nice and easy. Simple as that. The smaller the bead, the better. And then we come back up here and you fill this one in, go nice and slow. And then you can continue running it on up. All right, and then again, do the same thing. Nice and easy with your finger. It fills on up. This one you can go a little bit more because you've got your chrome here and you want to clean that up a little bit. You don't want that showing up. It will dry clear again, but you will be able to see it a little bit. So go along here, fill this up. Now this spot you want to be real careful because it's hard to run your finger through this bead. So if you can be careful and put it on, then you won't need to run your bead through. All right, just like that. If you can go like that through your whole series and go along, you will have a perfect bead. It'll be nice and clean. So much better. Nothing to see here. All right, guys, unless you've got your own show on TLC about your obsessive compulsive cleaning, most likely all of us are going to need to get this done. So with a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, you've made this thing look so much better. You've taken away any concerns that a buyer may have, which is going to translate into, oh my gosh, what do I got to do when I move into this house? Or, hey, let's ask them for a couple $1,000s off on this contract that we're going to offer. You've made it look better. It's going to take care of itself. So if you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, please get a hold of Amy and I at teamanneely.com. You can look us up on Facebook. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more of this stuff. Hopefully you're finding it interesting and useful. So hopefully y'all have a great day and we'll see you soon on the next video.